Hey guys, Brian and Frank here from the National Real Estate Post. Look at my hair.
It's awesome, dude.
I'm gonna
I love your hair.
I'm gonna get my head shaved because
Dude,
this
you
is why I
have
always
to leave
shave my
it.
head. Is
Just
because
leave it like it is.
It
It's
just doesn't come.
perfect.
It's like straw.
Anyway, what do you got going on?
All right. So, anyways, we were talking about the Super Bowl because they're going to be playing it right around the corner from us in San Francisco.
Right.
We were thinking about going, but I mean,
That ain't
give me a
gonna
break.
happen.
San Francisco's
Yeah.
horrible. But we started looking at who's going to win the Super Bowl, and everybody's always got these analytics and different ways of deciding who's going to win.
Sure.
So we came up with one that we want you guys to consider. Now I got to read this here. So.
This is interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Listen to this. So,
I'm going to give you our evidence.
okay.
On the week of the Super Bowl, okay, something has happened a number of times that's always determined the outcome of the winner.
Okay.
Here's an example. In 2008, the backup safety for the New England Patriots, his name was Andrews, he was busted while trying to buy a half a pound of weed, and he was driving in a Crown Victoria that was unregistered. Because, of course, if you're going to have a car unregistered, it better be a Crown Vic.
Watching, look at it right there, you watching?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was kicked out of the Super Bowl, and guess what? The Patriots lost.
Aha! So there's your first one.
Okay.
Next.
In 1998, Eugene Robinson, who's playing for the Atlanta Falcons, he was a winner of the high moral character. He was arrested for prostitution, and the Falcons lost the Super Bowl.
Well, for soliciting prostitution.
Soliciting
He
prostitution.
was not being a prostitute.
He wasn't offering himself up.
Right, yeah. Soliciting for a prostitute. Okay.
Okay, so in 1998,
Yeah.
you had Barrett Robbins, who was the center for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And he decided the night before the Super Bowl he was going to go down to Tijuana because they were
Great.
playing in San Diego, which
That's
is
a
always,
good idea.
Which is the Donkey
Yeah.
Show. So he decided he was going to go down to Tijuana
Yeah.
and get loaded, and
he did.
he slept through half of the Super Bowl. Showed up
Awesome.
at the stadium in his underwear. Well, they lost the Super Bowl. In 1989, the Bengals running back Stanley Wilson, he decided it was a really good idea to go on a cocaine bender. Much like going down to Tijuana, never a good idea before or after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, he got busted doing cocaine, and
I think there was a little prostitution in that one also, wasn't there? Or no? Soliciting or...
coke and hookers is like
Coke
peanut
and
butter
hookers?
and jelly.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure-
true.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, it goes together.
But anyways, the Bengals lost the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So moving forward right now, in
Okay.
2016, Ryan Murphy of the Denver Broncos, he was busted for soliciting a prostitute in San Jose. Mind you, if you've never been to San Jose, it's a dump in a lot of areas.
A lot of areas.
This wasn't like a high-priced prostitute. It was
Right.
like a
Your
low...
bargain variety.
Right.
Your
right,
bargain
exactly.
variety prostitute. Yeah.
So, he got busted for prostitution just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So, based on our evidence,
Based on this,
by players getting arrested
Right.
the week of the Super Bowl,
Yes.
their team loses, which means Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers are going to win this thing, not because they're a better team, not because Cam is Superman,
Right.
but because cocaine, tequila, and hookers is not a good formula for winning the Super Bowl.
okay, so what do we draw from this?
Okay, what we draw from this is where in our business can we draw illogical conclusions based on empirical evidence that we receive?
I see what you're saying.
Does that make sense?
It does, and I think there's a lot of ways that this happens in our business, and I see it all the time. Give you an example. There might be someone who's trying to work a certain strategy or whatever you will. He gives it a go. It doesn't work, and then others watching that perceive then, okay, well, the strategy sucks. The strategy doesn't work. But that's not necessarily the case at all.
Nope.
I mean, it could definitely be that the person who was working the strategy just sucked at working the strategy or didn't do it right or whatever. I see that happen all the time.
Yep.
I see that happen with people who want to go out on their own and things like that too. You know, you get guys, loan officers, they go, oh, I'm gonna go out on my own, and they go out on their own and they fail,
Yeah.
and that might discourage others from trying to do something like that. You know, not that going out on your own is a good idea. I'm not saying that, but that doesn't mean that you'll fail at it. You know what I mean? So
I do.
you see this stuff happen all the time in our industry and in our business.
Speaking of the Super Bowl and speaking of strategies, you reminded me of something. One of the things that we always talk about is if you're an older loan officer, like an old codger like Frank, not a young buck like myself,
Yeah, great.
you know, it's difficult because you have to unlearn certain behaviors.
Right.
When you have somebody who's new who's coming into the business, they haven't logically deduce that there's something that's a bad idea.
Right.
Case in point, your son Joey.
Joey, yeah.
So we were speaking about the Super Bowl, and we said, hey, why don't you make a Super Bowl pool up on one of our shows?
Yeah.
With, and then go get a bunch of realtors and other people in the
Sure,
industry to
it's
fill it out.
Something to talk about.
It gives you a chance to get in front of the realtors. It gives you a chance to then, if they win, go back into the office.
Right.
You can also put like your information on this thing. So it's a fun way, and it's a topical and a timely way to stay in front of agents.
Yeah.
And I know nobody did it.
Right.
Well, your kid went out and did it.
He did it. Yeah, he saw a handful of realtors. He got people in his office to do it as well. I mean, he went all the way around, but he did definitely go out and meet with some potential referral partners
And put them in front of them.
Yeah, I've got him in front of him. We're having fun, talking about something lighthearted. You know what I mean? So it was a good job.
Right.
One of them will probably win. So.
And that's a very easy example, but
Right.
especially if you're a little bit older right now, and I'm going to be a little age bias here because when you're our generation, sometimes even like adopting or adapting to new technologies is something that you're just going to rule out. Well, that stuff doesn't work. I don't need that for my business. That's drawing an illogical conclusion based on the evidence that you have because. Truth be told, technology is going to work for you. We know, you hear all the numbers, 90% of the people start their search online. The whole protocol in terms of how you get a referral has changed, fundamentally changed from where it was 10 years ago.
Right.
So I think as you're looking at your business, what we're just saying on this Friday before the Super Bowl is don't draw illogical conclusions from the evidence that you have in front of you. Some things that you may have dismissed in the past as not working, they deserve a second look because it could be the difference between having a great 2016 and a bad one because all evidence seems to indicate that it might be a little bit more challenging to close some deals in 2016 than it was 2015. So you need to double down on your efforts.
That was a good message. I just noticed is you totally got like mustard on your
Mustard.
a splotch.
Do I?
There's a splotch of something. I don't know what. I'm gonna say it's mustard on your chin. Yeah, it's right over here, right there.
I think there's a gray hair.
Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Oh my
Catch
God.
you later from the National Real Estate
Look at,
Post.
I'm going gray.
See ya.
Jesus.
Bye.
Bye.